Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts and Colossal Fossils. So this is a Q&A episode, so let's actually get started. Brenda from Morris, New York. What is the climate and environment of the late Cretaceous in Argentina and China like? And my second question is, does all Titanosaurs have armor scutes? So your first question, what is the climate like in the late Cretaceous of Argentina and China? Well, it will be warm and humid, of course. You have your trees, cycads, ferns, and flowers, of course. You have all sorts of types of animals, insects, amphibians, reptiles, pterosaurs, birds, mammals, those types of animals, and of course other types of dinosaurs. And you have your rivers, lakes, and ponds. Some volcanoes and mountain ranges were actually around there, and of course no grass and that sort of thing. And so yeah, the climate would actually be very similar to most other climates in the time of the Mesozoic, but I think Argentina would be a little bit more dry. Some parts of China would be a little bit dry, but mostly just warm and humid. And then to your second question, do all titanosaurs have armor scutes? I think some of them do. Like Saltosaurus, for example, is a great example of a titanosaur that actually has armored scutes, mostly on the back and some bits on the tail. But I would probably say some of them do. I don't know if all of them, but some actually have been found with fossilized scutes around them, but then you actually have ones that have not had any found on them. So that probably might be an indication that maybe some of those scutes actually either got washed away when like the bones were actually being preserved and all that. And so yeah, I mean that could be anything, but I think probably some titanosaurs did have armored scutes, and then some of them didn't. But that's just my guess. Benjamin from Hong Kong. Could Eoraptor hunt at night? It's a possibility, thanks to those large eyes that it does have on its skull. But I think it probably more likely hunted in like dawn and dusk to actually go after like the insects, amphibians, and reptiles that it needs to eat when it had to. Is the armor of Pinacosaurus very tough? I don't know that much about that dinosaur. I'm pretty sure it could be a nodosaur. I'm not totally sure, but I'm not totally sure on that one. Can the spikes of Stegosaurus punch bone? Yes, it can. There's a few Allosaurus specimens that actually had like some vertebrae, even pelvic bones, and like some back vertebrae, and even like in the legs and also in the neck vertebrae too, have holes in them from the tail spikes or the thagomizers of Stegosaurus. So that shows how powerful a whack from a Stegosaurus tail can actually be. And I don't think you want to be on the receiving end of a Stegosaurus tail coming right at you. So I probably say, yeah, they can, and there's fossil evidence to prove that. And who would win, Cryolophosaurus or Dracovenator? I don't know that much about Dracovenator. Cryolophosaurus I do know, but I really don't have an answer for that one. But yeah, I'll look up Dracovenator. I'll probably give you a comment on what I think about that fight. So I'll let you know, Benjamin, in the comment for that comment that you actually made a while ago for the Q&A episode. All right. YouTube question. So Luke Zilla, you got some questions for me. What if the Utahraptor didn't die out? That's a really good question, a hypothetical question. I would probably say it probably would be the top dromaeosaur predator around. It would be competing against Deinonychus and probably a couple of others. But some of the Carcharodontosaurs, or some of the proto or basal Carcharodontosaurs would actually be the top predators. But so I would think that it would still be having a hard time trying to go after whatever type of prey that it needs. And also you got some like early Tyrannosaurs that were starting to show up in North America at that point in time, so they would be competing against them. But I think the Tyrannosaurs would have the edge on Utahraptors a bit because they're brand new and they're kind of like taking over some of that niche that Utahraptor probably did, but Deinonychus would actually have been doing that a little bit more. But yeah, I would probably say it would still have a hard time surviving if Utahraptor did not die out. And of course, sea levels were rising at that point in time too, because Western Interior Seaway was actually developing around 100 million years ago. And your other question, did Gorgosaurus live with Albertosaurus and Daspletosaurus? Based on the age range, probably they did, but I think Gorgosaurus was actually more of a tyrannosaur that lived like from Alaska and majority of Canada into northern parts of Montana. Albertosaurus would actually be mostly Canada and some parts of Montana, but then you actually have Daspletosaurus, which is mostly in the United States type of area, so like Montana, Wyoming, maybe Colorado. So those are probably the areas where Daspletosaurus would actually be living in. But if they ever come into contact with each other, they would probably just avoid each other. But also they got different types of prey that they'd be going after too. So. Like Gorgosaurus would actually be going after the animals that are actually mostly that were actually in Alaska and northern Canada, and majority of Canada, that sort of thing. Albertosaurus would be going after like maybe the Hadrosaurs a bit more, and some of the other types of ceratopsians, and Daspletosaurus would be going after the ceratopsians and maybe the ankylosaurs a bit more, that sort of thing. But they could still go after the Hadrosaurs if they have to, and so yeah, but. Yeah, I think they probably did, but it's mainly the different prey sources that they're kind of actually going after. And then your final question, who would win, Gorgosaurus or Eutyrannus? I'm not sure who wins. That's a really good one. So you got two dinosaurs that are not in the same geographic location, but they lived in different kind of times in the Cretaceous period. So you have Eutyrannus from China, and you have Gorgosaurus in North America. And so they're nearly similar in size. But I think Gorgosaurus would have the advantage. It would have the advantage for speed and also biting power, and also better senses too. So Eutyrannus would actually have one advantage, and that is probably like the strength a bit more. So probably has like the muscle mass necessary to actually probably like withstand some of the blows of Gorgosaurus, but Gorgosaurus has a stronger bite force. So I would probably say that Gorgosaurus will still win this one. So like one bite in like the neck area of Eutyrannus, and Gorgosaurus would just pretty much win in that one. But I think Gorgosaurus would win that one probably maybe 7 times out of 10. And so yeah, that would be my guess. So Gorgosaurus would probably be the more advanced Tyrannosaur. All right, that's all the questions I got right here. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section, not on Messenger. Just make sure you put those questions in the comment section. And for YouTubers out there, feel free to actually post your questions in the comment section, and also like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and also hit that bell so you get notified for every single video that gets out. And in the next episode would actually be an extra episode. I'll let you guys know what topic I'll be doing, and so stay tuned for that. That'll happen on next week's Saturday. So just let you guys know, and remember, keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram. And my Instagram page is at dino.chris.pf. So you can actually check out my Instagram page, and I got some pretty cool pictures that you guys can check out. Post pretty cool stuff on there, and also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Take care of the people around you. Also, for younger people out there, to make sure you listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have. A good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And feel free to check out Colossal Fossils too on Facebook, and also on the website. So I'll put the website in the description down below, so you guys can click on that and check out Colossal Fossils. And make sure you guys have a safe and healthy Thanksgiving. And make sure you're wearing masks, socially distancing, wash your hands, because we need to reduce the spread. All right, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.